Hello, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm making this card, which I've done for a swap for Kylie Bertucci's Orlando Onstage Meetup and Swap. So there's demonstrators from all around the world are going to meet up and we're all swapping. So that's pretty exciting. I love these colours. So we have Shaded Spruce, Lemon Lime Twist and the Whisper White background. It's in the Australian card size, so we just had to make cards in the size of the country that we come from. So American demonstrators will be making American size cards, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not sure how well this shows up with the camera. So the leaf here has actually been stamped using the baby white technique, and I've also got some of that shimmer paint in there, so I'm not sure how well that picks up, but it's absolutely gorgeous when you can see it straight up. Very, very shimmery. Okay, so we've used the Tropical Chic stamp set, the stitched shape framelit dies, and we're using the largest square. I have used the Sunshine Sayings stamp set for the Sending You greeting, and also the Sunshine Wishes dies for the love. So just bring this up again. So this has been heat embossed with Whisper White embossing powder, and then I've cut this love out and then heat embossed with gold the bottom of that. So it's a little bit of detail, but I absolutely love this card. It's so bright and cheerful. So the other supplies that we need for that is the Vegas Gold shimmer paint. I love these shimmer paints. I'm having a lot of fun using these. We have the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. I have the Metallic Sequin Assortment. We have the Versamark ink, and I'm also using gold embossing powder and white embossing powder. Also got my embossing buddy there to get rid of any static, and we're using the heat tool. I have the classic label punch. The inks for this stamped background are Pineapple Punch, Tranquil Tide, Mossy Meadow, Call Me Clover, and Lemon Lime Twist. I love these colours. I think these are really pretty all together. And I have all my card supplies here, and you can find all the measurements and supplies over on my blog, and that's in the link. The link is in the description of this video. You can also purchase all your Stampin' Up supplies if you don't already have a demonstrator and you live in Australia. I would love that. And if you use the Hostess code, I'll send you out a free gift. So we might start off first by doing our die cutting. So I'm going to use the shimmery white cardstock, and we are going to cut out with that large stitched square shape. I love these stitched framelits. And we're also using the Shaded Spruce piece, and we're going to cut out that love with that one, so I'll grab that one out as well. And our piece of Lemon Lime Twist cardstock, we're going to emboss that with the Pinewood Planks. So let's bring the big shot in. I might do the die cutting first because that's already set up. So in our square, I'm just going to put the love in there. This is going to be the matting of our shimmery white. So we only need it around the edges. So let's pop that one in. And I'm also going to pop in that shimmery white card and the largest square. Plate on top, and we'll run that one straight through. Now if you've been following me, I always complain about not having a die brush. I've got a die brush, so I'm going to bring that in a minute and I'll show you how to use that one. We're going to set the Big Shot up to do some embossing as well, and I have, this is the thicker embossing folder. So what we're actually doing is we're only using one cutting plate, so that's really good. I'm going to pop that one on top, get rid of the other one, and let's run that one through. This is a deep impression embossing folder, so it looks really pretty. There we go. We can get rid of the Big Shot now. So we have those two pieces, that matting, and also the white cardstock bottom. So next I'm going to bring in, I have just a stamp case, empty stamp case. Like I said before, this is a baby wipe technique, so I've just got a baby wipe in there. And I'm going to bring in all my inks. And we're going to go with the lightest, let's go with the Pineapple Punch. And I'm just going to create a little few dots everywhere. And I'll bring each colour in. So I've got my Lemon Lime Twist next. And the good thing about this, nothing's ever going to be the same. It's doesn't matter where you stamp, it's going to be different. So I have my Call Me Clover next. And Tranquil Tide. So these all just bleed through. And the last one's Mossy Meadow. I'm just sort of making sure I don't have too many empty spots in between. I'm also going to go back through with just my two lightest colours. So I have quite a bit of Pineapple Punch already down. I'm just going to add a little bit more around, and then the Lemon Lime Twist. Okay. Now the last little thing is I want to put some of that Vegas gold in, so I'm just going to shake it up. And I've just got a plastic spoon. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip that in there, and I'm just going to place the gold around so it's in that colouring. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're right to start stamping. So I have my tropical flower here. I'm going to bring in my shimmery white cardstock. I'm just going to bring in a matte and that foam board as well. You don't really need the foam board, but I just like that little bit of extra cushion there. So let's ink this up. That's so pretty. And then we're just going to randomly stamp around. Look at how pretty that stamp is. That Vegas gold's really, really pretty. And you can see that shimmer. So I'm going to pop that over to the side to dry. I'll also bring in my die brush and the matting, and I can stick that die straight down. And I'm just going to run the die brush over, and it gets all that little bits out. Okay, and that's how that's come out. So we're going to do some embossing, and not only with this piece, but also the sentiment here. So with this sentiment, I actually, because I've made so many of them, these are my bowls of what I've been putting together. I've done this sentiment with the Stampin' Artist, and it's already all lined up. I'm going to just pop these back in. I have my sending you down all ready to go. And I made this template up just with a 6x6 piece. I cut it out with the classic label, and I'd worked out where I wanted in here to stamp, and then place these down on the plate so it would stamp in that right spot. So I have the matting that we have here. I'm going to place this in under so it's central in there, because we still want to use this shaded spruce piece as the matting. So it's in there, it's plenty of room on either side. I'm going to bring my Versamark in and just ink up both of those sentiments. And I just sat here while I was watching a show and done all these all at once. So let's stamp those down. And I just noticed I didn't put my magnet down, but that's okay, I didn't need it. I did have my magnets down when I done all of them though. And that's stamped exactly where I want it. So I'm going to bring in my Whisper White embossing powder. There we go. I don't need the Whisper White anymore, so I'm going to pop that away. I'm going to move the Stampin' Artist out of the road as well, but then we're going to do the gold embossing. So we have this love, and all I did is I just got a piece of scrap card and I placed the love down on the side, so it's sort of halfway down the word. And I just put another bit of cardstock on top and ran my finger over it, so that got all the Versamark onto the lettering. And I'm just going to bring in my gold embossing powder. Place that gold on there just like that. Okay, so now we can bring our heat tool in, and we'll just melt all those powders. So once that's dry, I'm just going to bring in the classic label punch, and I'm just going to punch that one out. I made about 70 of these, so I just done one thing at a time, done all the heat embossing, then punching, die cutting, yeah, so that's what you're left with, which is perfect when you stick the shimmery white piece on top. You don't even notice it. And bring everything in now, and we're just going to pop it all together. So I have my piece of Whisper White cards base. It's already pre-scored. I'm just going to fold and burnish. And then I'm just going to glue this pine wood planks straight down. I'm just using the Tombow Mono glue and just popping it down in the center there. I loved all these green colours together. And I did pop the heat tool on this just to try and dry it out a little bit better. That shimmer paint does take that little bit extra to dry. So hopefully that's dry now. I'm just going to add this to the shaded spruce matting. I'm going to pop that up, so because that's still a little bit wet on the back, I'm going to pop that down now. Only my edges here at the moment, so I'm just going to cut them down. Make sure you use the edges of your dimensionals. Hope everyone's been enjoying the swap videos that I've done. Love to hear if what one's your favourite when they're all finished. Or if I did swap with you and you've got one of my swaps and you're watching, let me know that too. That'd be wonderful. So popping that down in the middle. Now with our classic label punch, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut down that sentiment so it's a little bit shorter, and using the Tombow glue, just going to glue that one down as well. Let's put a bit of glue on the back of the love as well. So not a lot to the card, it's a pretty simple card, just a few different things to get it all ready to put down. But I love the baby wipe technique, and I love embossing as well. Okay, now we have the metallic sequins, and I've got a large, a medium and a small there, so let me see if I can bring out a large, medium and small gold. Aren't these iridescent ones in here absolutely gorgeous? Oh. There we go. So we have the large, the medium and the small in gold. I'm just going to bring in my fine tip glue pen. I'm just going to pop. Whoop. It was a big dot. We didn't want that. That's another big dot. Sure what's going on with my glue, it's just pouring out. Okay. There we go. Chuck the lid straight back on. And using my take my pick, I'm just going to pick these sequins up and place down onto those bits of glue. So I hope you've enjoyed this card. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're after any supplies and you live in Australia, please go over to my online store and you can purchase there. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.